Hi parents and carers, we're sorry that we can't do parents consultations in person this year, but we're going to make a little video for you to explain some of the things that we've been learning about so far this year and give you a little tour of our classrooms.
So when the children arrive first thing in the morning, they will come up the stairs and hang their coats and their pegs up, and then they're greeted by our Camille Walala display, which features the work we did in the first half term.
In the first half term, we had a whole school art focus, and in Year 5 we were learning about the London-based street artist called Camille Walala. She makes lots of different types of art, but often her art is on roads, on buildings, on a barge, as you can see here. The children were really captivated by her fun and playful style. We started off by analysing her artwork and looking at some of her inspirations before zoning in on a specific set of prints which she made for an exhibition called In the House.
After that, we were ready to start our own designs. So we started out with sketching out some of Camille Walala's designs and thinking which ones we liked the most. Then we used grid paper to help map out our ideas before putting it onto tracing paper, and then finally creating the paper copies of it outlined with black pen. And finally, we then began painting. We transferred our ideas onto A3 paper, and as you can see, the finished products turned out absolutely incredibly.
After the children have hung up their coats on their pegs, they come into the classroom. This is the Blackbirds classroom. After the register, we usually begin the day with English. These are the 3 focus texts that we've been exploring so far this term. We began with this story called Way Home, and then our main focus text last half term was Shackleton's Journey, which we'll show you more details about in a moment. And this half term we've been focusing on the narrative poem The Highwayman, which links to our topic. So we begin each unit by introducing the children to the learning journey. Each learning journey incorporates a range of activities. Some of these activities, like this one called A Roll on the Wall, explore the characters or in the story or the setting. We also, in each English unit, incorporate lots of drama. You can see that the children have made some freeze frames here depicting different parts of the text that we were looking at. We'll also incorporate in every unit some grammar learning. So here we were learning about complex sentences, and children have written some examples of those. If we're looking at a specific text type, we'll always spend some time picking apart the features. So here we were looking at letters, and you can see that we have been identifying the different organisational and language features of a letter. And all of this culminates in a piece of big writing, which we do roughly every 2 weeks.
So each half term we try and put together a published piece of work. This display here celebrates the work we did based around Shackleton's Journey. These logbooks have been designed by the children with the front covers. Inside, this was based around our art unit that we did on pencil drawings, so that all children produced a portrait of Shackleton. On the next page, they did a job advert, which was done for recruiting sailors to go on the expedition with Shackleton. This piece of work was a letter of application where the children wrote as sailors wanting to become part of Shackleton's expedition. We then have a map of the voyage that they took, and lastly a bon voyage card from one of the sailors on the trip.
And this is the Woodpeckers classroom. So maths, we began the year by exploring place value and making sure that children really understood the value of digits in numbers up to 1 million. Since then, we've mostly been focusing on calculation methods. We'll often give children a choice of the level of challenge that they work at, as you can see here, and we'll then give children the opportunity to apply their skills and understanding in a range of different ways, such as with reasoning activities like these, with empty number challenges and spot the mistake activities.
Recently we have moved on to statistics, where we are currently exploring bar charts and the meaning and interpreting information from them, and have moved on to line graphs.
Each week we have a problem solving lesson. Recently we've been working on the skill of logical reasoning, We began with a more simple, straightforward problem, and as the children's skills have developed, we've worked on increasingly complex problems.
In PHSE, we have been focused on healthy bodies, learning all about nutrition and the nutrients and fibre that you can find in.
Our focus religion in Year 5 is Islam this year. Each half term we have an RE day which incorporate a range of activities, some discussion, some art, always drawing back to the children's own beliefs and other worldviews. And we've recently started our first history topic of the year, which is poverty in the past, in which we'll be learning about life of Camden's poorest citizens from 1700 onwards. And this display shows the beginning of our learning journey. So we're going to be sending home a few things to help you support your child's learning at home. In terms of English, the most important thing that you can be doing is encouraging your child to read for at least 20 minutes every day. We've recently started the reading challenge, which is all about developing that love of reading and reading for pleasure. One of the things that we'll be sending home with your child is this list of questions, which just acts as a prompt to help you discuss your child's reading with them. We're also going to be sending home the Year 5 and 6 spelling list, which includes all the spellings that children are expected to learn by the end of Year 6. We send them home in as part of our weekly home learning as well.
In this booklet, we have identified the key skills from the new national curriculum that your child needs to meet in reading, writing and maths for Year 5.
We're also going to be sending home some links to the websites of these two organisations, the CLPE and the Book Trust. These websites are really good for lists of recommended books for all children of all ages, but they also have some themed lists such as Fearless Females in Fiction.
Learning your times tables is essential to unlocking all areas of maths, and here is 2 recommended websites that will help children to learn them off by heart in a fun way. So that was the general introduction to Year 5. Of course, we'll be talking more about your child's learning and their achievement in our call.